and we're getting ready to start.
We're talking randomly. Talking random. We're talking randomly. Talking random. Hey, you. They coming one and all into the barbershop where the conversation's right. We're talking on it all and you can even call in just to set the places right. The ladies and the dudes can pull up, come on through and it's all good with y'all. We're talking randomly. Talking random. We're talking randomly. Talking random. We're talking randomly. Talking random. We're talking randomly. Talking random.
Is this the barbershop?
Yes, it is.
It's the barbershop.
Yes.
I mean, we can't talk straight in the barbershop. Then where can we talk straight? We can't talk straight nowhere else. You know, this ain't nothing but healthy conversation.
Good evening, internets, worldwide, Facebook Live. This is Barbershop Talking Random-ish. I am your master barber, Rick Kane. Y'all know what this is. This ain't nothing but some good old-fashioned barbershop style conversation. In this here barbershop, no conversation is taboo. We have one rule and one rule only. That rule is, say what you mean what you say, just don't be mean when you say it. Welcome to the barbershop. Tonight is one of them special nights. But first, before we get there, I want to thank the people that is allowing us to even do this thing. First people I want to thank is Mr. Rick Dunn for allowing us to use this space, and MEU Radio for having us and not kicking us off. And, but with that, I need y'all to help keep this thing rolling. Because what Mr. Rick Dunn is doing up here is very special. He's been helping the community for years, and there's plenty of young men and women that has came through this program that he has helped, and he would love to continue to help, but we need your help. And you can help him by supporting the ACC High School Completion Initiative by donating through PayPal. And when you do this, please include educationmatters@gmail.com. But you can also do it through your Kroger Plus card. If you like me and wifey, we go by Kroger's often. And all you have to do is log into your Kroger Plus account and search ACC High School Completion Initiative to donate. Every time you swipe your card, a little something go back and it comes here. And it's a very needed and a very good thing, teaching young men and women how to become journalists. We also want to thank Wayne Kane, the traveling wine seller. We gonna get him back in the classic city one day so we can get some of them wine.
Say that, boy.
But we gonna get him back one
But we
day.
gotta let him keep it going out
You
there.
gotta keep it going.
Yeah.
Gotta keep it
Got
going.
to have that
Yes,
money.
sir.
Got
Yes,
to
sir.
have that
Yes,
money.
sir. Yes, sir. And we also want to thank Queens. I don't know why I say
You
Queens.
tear that up every time.
Every time.
Every time. That's all right. That's all right.
I'm glad she understands.
She love you though. She love you. She love you.
Quinn's Visual Impact. the home to get your bouncing for all your party needs. Please holler at her. And if you want to get some flyers,
Yes, sir.
she
Yes,
is
sir.
the queen of them flyers.
Yep.
I mean, she has us looking good every week.
Every week.
I know I'll be a little late sometimes getting them out, but
It ain't do the queen.
It ain't do to her.
It ain't do the queen.
You know, I'll be following in the footsteps of mine too sometimes. I mean, I ain't
That's all right. That's all right. That's all right.
What?
He
That's
right
love.
though.
That's a love tap.
He right
That's a
though.
love
He
tap.
right though. He right though.
Ain't that but good conversation
Yes, sir.
and truth in the barbershop?
Come on in, Miss
It wasn't
Austin.
me.
And yes, sir. But tonight is special, man. Tonight is the end of we're coming up on the end of National Poetry Month. And so tonight we got poetry in the barbershop.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Some of my favorite poets stop through and they gonna bless you. But don't worry, I know y'all watching the draft. And in fact, Tennessee's pick is in.
All right,
So
all
with
right.
the first pick
Cam.
of you already got it.
No, I'm saying.
He guessing. He
Okay.
throwing that out there.
And but we gonna let y'all know what's going on, cause you know we still
I'm
in the
just guessing.
barbershop.
I'm just guessing.
We got a little poetry, but we still want to know what Shakur is going.
Yeah, yeah.
I mean, we ain't gonna act like that's not why we really want to know where is Shakur going.
Yeah.
And so, but Roger Cadell is on his way to the. And I'm gonna let y'all know, and then we gonna get started with what we came here to do. I promise you we gonna get to it. But you know,
Hey.
and like I said, but we do have some of my favorite poets in the building. And first of all, I want to thank y'all for being here. And Cam Ward with the first pick went to Tennessee.
All right.
And so, but we also have probably the best MC that can't rap in the building.
But you have
The
to
host-
remember what MC
Yes, sir.
stand for.
My
Master
of
ceremonies.
So we have him, that guy,
That guy.
in the building. I like to call him Professor Hip Hop. But y'all know him as Montu. The only thing, and I want to put this in the air now. Next year, we will be doing this from Hendershots, so we can have the shaky leg trio.
Sounds good to me.
So we just putting it in the air. They told us you manifested, so we manifested. Next year we will be doing this, talking around the bitch, live from Hendershots. We're gonna be doing it with the stanky legs. Just put it in the air, so that's how we get it.
We're gonna let it breathe.
We're gonna let it breathe.
Let it marinate.
Let it breathe.
Let it marinate.
We let it breathe. And so now, what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna get out the way. I'm gonna get on out your way, and I'm gonna let Mr. 1-2 do what he does.
Word.
And it's all yours, my guy.
Yeah. National Poetry Month once again. We back in the barbershop. I appreciate y'all, man. Y'all do a beautiful thing for the community, and I love it. I love it. But yeah, like he said, we got some dope poets in the house, so we about to just, we just want y'all to just sit back, put your phone down, put your earplugs in, whatever you got to do, and enjoy what you about to get. It's the first poet I'm bringing to the mic. No stranger to the mic. Performs at our events and do what she do. She comes from the heart. She gives you a message, and really she just kind of tells you how she feels. Like, that's really what her poetry, when I hear it, it's like she just, whatever the situation is, whatever the experience is, she just kind of tells you how it is and tells you what she feels. So without further ado, y'all give it up for Ren.
Thank you. Nah, y'all were mentioning Kroger earlier, and I was like, I work there. I work at the Alps Road Kroger, and it's a nice place to work, which is saying a lot because I am a trans girl. At any rate, this first poem that I've got 3 poems. I tried to give them a theme. I tried to give them a theme. The theme is being lost.
Okay.
And this one is me I wrote it when I was sort of wanting someone to try and find me.
Okay, that's okay.
So I shall start. Taking pains, I define in exacting lines a model in 3 dimensions from every angle as objectively as I can. This depiction of a psyche, everything cleanly labeled, well delineated, citing your research whenever possible. Described in familiar parameter, I'd outline myself in unfamiliar terms to provide every point of reference at your disposal. No longer asking if this soul is good or evil, I ask, is it complete? Do the shadows imply the light? Do the monsters imply the gods? Does the passion imply the essence? If I put enough of myself into word, will you be able to fill in the gaps? My blind spots. The violence of the unconscious and the subjective. I'm making a map. Please find me.
Ooh, nice. Nice.
And then this one is, I may or may not have spent the past few months pining after someone, and I wrote this in the middle of that journey.
Oh, all right.
So, lightning flashes, the weather stormy, this ship tossed in a sea unreadable, wine dark, unchanged by me, unchanged after. The sky is unknowable, the stars lost to me, I see nothing, feeling too much. I ask why I set sail, why I left the harbor, that safe place, slowly, rotting the wood of the hull. I had found for myself the slowest way to die, forgetting the wishes made, bottle broken on untethered wood. I've set sail, for better or worse, a journey broken only by land or the welcome cold depth. And this one is at the end of that pining journey, which happened recently, but I write poetry and I'm over it. I'm good. The eye of the storm stares back at me, drifting how it pleases, spreading but one message, painting just one picture, its canvas destruction, its pulpit desolation, as it teaches the folly of man. Edifice and artifice, vain attempts at eternity, still built upon the earth, swept away like dust, washed clean like grime, leaving nothing but debris and questions.
Now before you go,
Yes.
what drew you to poetry?
Honestly, a couple years ago, I was like really depressed, but I didn't process any of it. I thought I was fine. And there was this little game that everyone was talking about, and it's Doki Doki Literature Club, and I'd like, okay, sure, sounds like fun. I already know the twist. It's not going to surprise me. It'll be fine. And it was just so well written. Like I knew it was coming. How old is that game? It's like 8 years old. It's 7 years old. It doesn't. One of the characters takes their own life, and I knew that was coming, but it was so well written, and it got to me. It struck like the heart, and so I was like reeling, and then I was like, you know what? I'm gonna write a story where everything turns out okay. And so anyway, while I was doing that, I was like, you know what? It'd be fun to write poetry because the characters write poetry. I think that'd be fun. And I was like, oh my god, I need this. This helps me. This is what helps me.
Word.
And I've been writing poetry ever since.
Oh, awesome. I love that.
One thing I love about Lynn poetry is you never know what you're gonna get.
Oh yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
and she writes how she feels at that moment.
It's authentic.
Yeah.
There's
Good word.
it's authentic. When we hear your poetry, we hear you.
Yes.
I used to always tell people, if you really want to know me, read my work.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that applies to you. If people really want to know you, they just have to listen to your work. You lay everything out. It's just simply beautiful. It's simply beautiful.
Whenever I write, I'm like I need to take whatever emotion I'm feeling, I need to look at it completely and honestly and fully, and then I can write with it. And like only if I do that does it help me.
Oh, I love that.
Well, thank you. Definitely thank you.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, thank you for coming.
Now you gonna go dance.
Yes.
Now I'm gonna dance.
You can dance if you want
That's a
to.
good
Yes,
night.
sir.
Poetry and dancing. That's a good night.
Hey, oh man, you better believe it.
Have a lovely night.
Oh, thank you.
Now Jacksonville is on the clock, and they pick is in.
Pick his
The pick is in. So I'm trying to give it to you for you introduce, and whoever want to come up next can go on and come up next. And yeah.
Who we got next? Well, up next, this young lady, I always say, like, really, she's done so much. So she can, like, I call her a Renaissance woman because, you know, she does a little bit of everything.
Yes.
She sings, you know, she does poetry. She does a little comedy. I'm sure she dances, you know.
She boxes.
She boxes, that's right. And I'm sure
She
if
does hair?
you put a camera,
And she does hair.
and
And
she
she
does
does hair?
hair,
Oh, my
put a camera in front of her, she probably acts. So she's, you know, black excellence.
Oh,
you know,
yes.
it's someone that can do everything and does it well. So, here she go. She's magic.
Hello, everybody. So we are fighting anxiety right now as we speak because I have a message to the world. So this first poem is actually called Defects. So, defects, how could you? Got me crying like my eyes were filled with shampoo. Took my 3 kids and didn't expect me to catch the flu. Got me smashing my keyboard, pressing undo. I thought my life was through. Pain on my heart like a tattoo. Sitting in court, watching them sip coffee cold brew. Sadly, my attorney was untrue. Had my signature and withdrew. I had no clue. Signed over my rights to who? Division of Family and Children's Services. Baby, we are up for a review. We are not animals at the zoo. You didn't expect me to pursue. It's bad enough that there isn't consequences for you. This has went on long enough, and I'm due. My nerves are down to the last few. Ready to get them and take them on to definite new. You exposed them to more danger with your crew. Law-abiding citizen applies to me too. It seems to fit like the perfect shoe, holding every bit of my composure, turning blue. But now it's almost over, keeping my kids together like glue. I tell my kids we are on a beautiful canoe. Life has been very different, but they never lost the view. I'm so grateful that I've been strong like bamboo.
Shoo. Salute.
Thank you, y'all.
Salute.
Amen. So this next one is called Earth Angel. So I removed my wings to explore better things, to see what the world could bring, although sometimes Earth comes with a sting. We hold tight and cling, just like being on a swing. My heart loves the finer things. But they come with so many strings. Toss it aside like a fling. What song does your heart sing? I really don't want my arm in a sling. There's work to do, time to spring. I'm just an earth angel with 6 rings. I applaud all my kings.
All right.
Thank you, guys. And my last one, I know I've been very different lately. It's called Transformation. And we do die and come back just as a different form within ourselves. So this one is called, Why Do You Want to Little Girl Me? So, why do you want a little girl me? I'm literally a god, G. I take life from every degree. I'm just a tall oak tree. My ancestors have me down as the best trustee. Breaking generational curses, I became the nominee. The world I live in, I've been free. Me plus 3, it became we. Protecting and providing is all I could foresee. That's Big Mama on that ATV. Taking my kids on shopping sprees, I wanted them to see that it is so much more you can be. Knowing that your blessings are a guarantee. Waiting on the right man to get on his knee. Refusing to keep a bad plea. Taking a trip to a cabin in Tennessee. Standing strong as Queen Bee. God gave me more than just a key. I've been unlocked like a mermaid at sea. Who is she? I'm just little old thee. I'm not looking for you to agree. My angels are our referee. That's why I take the time to ski, sitting at home on my porch, sipping tea, wearing one of my favorite graphic tees. Stand still, no need to flee.
No, stay still. Got a question. So you were here when we did the love
Yes.
Valentine's show.
Yes.
So I know why you love to write. My question is your process. What's your process when you write? Do you wait for inspiration? Do you sit down? Do you force it out? What's your process for your writing your poetry?
So I'm gonna be a little funny with this one, y'all. So you're gonna hear me say all types of stuff.
That's all right.
But so for me, now that I'm an active member of Advantage Behavioral, learning that I am bipolar and I have anxiety, I realize that I go in and out of my moods. But to me, I actually say that I have multi-personality. And I think that my psychiatrist is missing something. But within that, I, for some reason, take a sentence of however I feel at that moment. And for some reason, this might be a little bit of autism, that I feel like I have to write down all the words. So I have a list of words, and then I fill in to go to each one.
Wow.
And it's just how I write. And
Wow.
I've tried free form, I've tried other ways, but for some reason, this is just how my brain processes. So
Wow.
from that sentence, whatever that last word is, the rest of my poem goes from there.
Wow. I see. That's one thing I've always been interested in is how people write, and if they write on paper, how they write it on paper.
You know what? It's a good way right here. You see the words?
Baby, can you blow that up so that can be seen, because that to me. Let me see if I can. Come on.
Let me see, I do it on another. Both of these got it on there.
But
so
yeah.
down the side
That's
of
the
it, you see the
process.
words.
That's
No,
the
you can
process.
see your
Yeah, just zoom it in. Just zoom it in,
zoom it in.
because
Oh.
that no, that's perfect, because that's the process. And when I first started writing, that's all I did was pen and pad, or paper, or pencil and pad. So I get it, and I absolutely love it, because I love to hear and see how you go from thought to finished product. Because inspiration is everywhere.
True.
It can come from the word you hear on the radio, from something you see out of your window, something that just sparked in your day, and just how you go from that inspiration to the poem is just so crucial to me. So I thank you for sharing that. I thank you for sharing that.
Thank you.
Yes. Thank you. And okay.
What's the second pick?
The second pick was Travis Hunter to Jacksonville.
Okay.
And the third pick is Abdul Carter.
From
he went
Penn-
to the Giants from Penn State.
State.
Going to the Giants.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, he monsters.
Yes, sir. Yes.
All right, who's up next? All right, well,
Hey,
this next young lady I'm bringing to the mic, you know what I love about her pieces is I always learn something. Like, she be teaching through her pieces, she be showing some love, she gives all the feeling, and like she has this this flow that she does that like kind of just, she flows inside your soul. Like it's there for a minute, and next thing you know, it's like becomes a part of you. I really love the way she puts them words together. So, Amanda DZ.
I'm so happy to be here. Thank you guys so much for
hey, man.
inviting poets from the
We are
community.
excited that you were able to make it.
Yes.
Well, me too. I'm gonna read one that came out of me about 3 years ago, and I've reworked it a little bit. And my poetry does not usually rhyme, but this one's got a rhyme to it.
Okay.
Okay.
And I wrote it for all my ladies, but it honestly applies to anybody who's ever been told you gotta conform.
Wow. Okay.
This is called No Sharp Edges Allowed. That's right, girl. Let us sand you down smooth so you go down with ease. We always prefer a woman who lives on her knees. Sand you down smooth, slough off all the rough edges, those tough animal urges. We'll need you to repress them, Conform to our standards, be the good girl, so we can show you off like property, a purchased pretty pearl. Be easy, please, easy for everyone else, easy to stomach and to stack on the shelf. We like you predictable. Don't you dare step out of line. Don't take up too much space. It's unsettling when you shine. No, we like you small and simple. Don't be too much of your own. Your body needs to be unthreatening. You'd better sweeten that tone. No sharp edges, no piercing questions, no razor blade wit, no needles of knowing humming straight through to split our carefully constructed costumes to the wolf underneath. We won't have you leaving holes behind ripped out by your teeth. Sand you down smooth, we'll grind off any edges that could cut into our expectations, status quo, certainty, hierarchy, self-satisfaction, power over authority, superiority, comfort, incompetence. If your self-worth bothers us, we'll just call you a slut. That's right, girl. Let us sand you down smooth so you go down with ease. We always prefer a woman who lives on her knees. Sand you down slick from your head to your feet. Keep your hair straight. Cancel out the gray. Be sure that it's neat. No frizz allowed. Certainly nothing that doesn't remind us of a doll. Keep your knees together and wear the high heels. We don't care if you fall. Keep your body hair shaved. We prefer you more juvenile. God forbid you look grown. We prefer you remind us of a child. Wow. You don't like objectification? Don't you know boys will be boys, and you'll get what you ask for, so please stop making noise. Tame your fur, tiger. Keep your mouth shut tight. File down those fangs and straighten out your stripes. Make it easy, honey, for us to swallow you whole. We'll reduce you to a concept. We have no need of your soul. Sand you down smooth. Iron out all ambition. Your job is just to soothe our conscience, meet our conditions. Because who can stand a woman who thinks for herself, who doesn't know her place, doesn't stay on the shelf? That's right, girl. Let us sand you down smooth so you go down with ease. We'll reward a woman who lives on her knees. Yes, we'll sand you down smooth like silk with no snap. Keep a smile on your face. Keep ignoring that wage gap. In fact, you don't see us over here severing your options and locking the doors. It's time you went home, got busy scrubbing the floors. Damn it, girl, don't you know you're not allowed to be awake? Stay asleep. Insomniacs are witches, and we burn them at the stake. That's right, girl. Let us sand you down smooth so you go down with ease. We prefer a woman who lives on her knees. We'll wear you right down to get rid of all splinters. We'll conquer you in your spring and discard you in your winter. You need to be quiet. You're problematic. You're too loud. Did you get that memo yet, baby? No sharp edges allowed.
Oh yeah, God. Oh yeah.
Salute.
Sand me down.
Drop the
Salute.
bomb on it.
Oh, boy.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Oh, that was right.
I got a couple more. I've got a longer one that I'm going to read next, and I like to play with my titles. I like to make them really, really long. So here's one of those. I did a deep dive on a kind of bird that's been signaling to me for 2 years straight, and I am obsessed. Now you all have to hear about it and what I think it means in regards to our personal philosophies. A hummingbird zips across my line of vision, darting more quickly than my eyes can capture. It's the ruby-throated kind, all zing and shimmer. I've read about these rapid creatures. On the Pisces-coded websites I occasionally haunt, they're called messengers of hope, and even symbols for unending happiness. I watch the tiny, buzzy thing hover, wingtips a blur in the moonlight. This unfazed hummer rides the atmospheric waves like it was born, treading the air, as it siphons nectar from the blossom with its lance-like beak. I pulled the King of Swords this morning. Swords is the suit of air and of the psyche, and its monarch is all rationality, stoic discernment, mental agility. Their blade has the power to sever ties that no longer serve, to cut free from perspectives that enmesh but do not enlarge the precious territory of the mind. I wander over the brain, my brain, against a soundtrack of wing beats as the bird feeds. Unlike a hummingbird, sometimes I drink the poison, returning to hover over the same toxic thought pattern again and again, not because I am stupid, but because I am hungry. And I have not found the sources of nourishment that both satisfy my cravings and energize me for flight. I chalk this up to the fact that a hummingbird's brain is twice the size of my own in proportion to its body size. However, like a hummingbird, who has a complex mapping system within its ginormous cerebrum, I do remember every flower where I felt fed. As I watch, the ruby throat dodges backward. It's the only bird able to fly in reverse. But it has mammalian company because I, too, beat my own mental wings rearward. The past is a place that can send my future into a state of torpor, a mild hibernation which my bird buddy enters into each night to rest and restore. I tend more to trap myself in a tunnel system of regret. Sometimes I even nullify tomorrow before it arrives. You tell me who's the bird brain. I squint into the sunshine as my tiny professor hums forward and backward again, tilting upwards a few feet at the same time. The angles from which he is considering lunch keep changing. Perspective, I suppose, is everything. Since we're covering science and philosophy and now math, apparently, I might as well add language arts to the mix. The word perspective comes from older words that all iron out to mean possibility. My possibilities are dependent on what I am willing to see, when I choose a different angle to see it from. Perception is what we've been working towards the whole time, you see. Viewpoint and vision, seeing and sensing, seizing upon understanding in the hopes of a better everything. There are those who will tell us reality is rigid, a metal box you're meant to clock the edges of and keep within. After all, the wings of a bird go up and down, up and down. But do they? The hummingbird species has evolved a unique shoulder joint, a ball and socket that can twist for 180 degrees. They can change direction anytime they please. They can steady themselves in the airstream. They can fly upside down if they want to. And their wings don't go up and down. Their wings flick like a wrist and generate lift on both the upstroke and the downstroke. Their wings beat in a hyperspeed figure 8. Their wings flow in the shape of infinity. The wind and the storm and the heat aren't gonna stop. But neither are you, baby. Neither are you, not because it's easy, but because it's what you're built for. You've got a jewel in your throat that is dying to let it out. You've got the ability to go backwards in time and say then does not define now, does not define next. You've got a mind like a hummingbird's wings, strong and flexible and free. And you know how to find the nourishment that's gonna set you free to soar. One last thing about birds, they co-evolve. Their feeding patterns influence the evolution of the environment around them. And they in turn respond to how the plants are growing. The community is evolving. And the brave winged things are doing part of the calling just to erase all doubt, friend. You are a hummingbird. So I got time for one more?
Yes.
Okay,
Yes.
I got one more.
Yes.
One more. All right. This this is kind of funny. It's an after of an after poem. So a lot of times teachers will introduce a poem to their students and then kind of use it as a template to guide them through writing a poem. And the Kentucky Poet Laureate from in the 2010s, George Ella Lyon, wrote a poem called Where I'm From. And a lot of students have written beautiful poems, and they call it Where I'm From. And I've written a Where I'm From poem, but then I did an after of an after, and I wrote Where I'm Going.
Okay.
So this is where I'm going. I am going towards candle flicker, towards warm wax and matchsticks. I'm going towards Lego scattered all over the floor, abundant, irreverent, speaking to me about possibility. I am going towards the light, coming through every crack, the beams stretching across floor and forest towards the everyday rending of the veil. I am going towards the helpers and the healing, towards sister, outsider. I am going towards the weapons and the yarders, and the cycle ends with meteors, toward root down and rise up. I am going towards the smoke, the burning hope for the building of a new way of being. I am going towards together, towards the lovers, the ones who keep breaking their hearts open to make room for the sharp edges of the world. I am going towards death, from within the darkness towards the engraved invitation to rebirth. Under this sky are the holy heretics who still believe in love that liberates, who have graffitied the dream across our billboards of consciousness. I am going towards their horizon, spray painting my sidewalk with hope along the way. And I want to know, are you coming with me?
So, my question to you, because I absolutely love your titles. I think that is one of the greatest things. So, when you're coming up with do you do your poetry first and then the title? Or the title? What's your process?
I would say as far as titles, usually they come afterwards. Sometimes I will start with a title and it changes just based on what the poem needs to be. It's a great question. I'm actually Sometimes the title, I will actually write the poem and I just take the first line and that becomes the title as well.
Okay. Because sometimes I do the exact opposite. I'll write the poem and take the last line, and that becomes the title.
Yeah.
It was funny. Last week's show, I was talking to my wife. I said this might be a Amanda's title because the title almost became so long.
Yeah, it was.
Last week's show.
It was. He was still going with the title too.
But I love the titles and the length of them. And,
oh my God!
And how it comes back. You figure it out.
Yes.
You figure out what the title really means as you go through what you're saying.
Yes.
Yes. That's great feedback. I appreciate that. Thank you. It's nice to know how it lands because to me, like, it's funny. And I think it's a joke, but I don't always know if everybody else likes it the same way I do.
But see, and that's why I think this space is so wonderful because you get to see it from someone else's perspective. It took me years because I was so wrapped up in I wanted you to receive this the way I see it. I had to let that go and let you receive it the way you receive it because it's not the same journey. It's not the same journey. So I think this is why we always need this. You always need feedback from different artists and different people because I see it from a different perspective because I absolutely adore the way you do it. And when I hear those titles, I just go, it just it does. I'm like, oh, we really finna get deep now.
Let's cook.
Yeah, let's cook. You know, I'm putting my apron on and my chef hat, and I'm ready to go to town. You know what I'm saying? So I thank you for that, because you always share. You always share, and your symmetry is just, it's immaculate. It is immaculate. You draw a wonderful story and picture with your words.
Yeah.
So it's just thank you.
Thank you.
Yep.
Thank you.
Yes,
Thank you.
indeed.
Yeah.
New England picked Will Campbell. Cleveland picked Graham, the D tackle out of Michigan.
Okay.
And Oakland just picked Las Vegas Raiders just picked Genty, the running back from Boise State. And New Jersey's on the clock. Well, New
Jets.
Yeah,
The
on
Jets.
the clock. Yes, sir.
All right.
We gonna keep it going on this draft night.
Yes, sir.
You know what I'm saying? On this last night of National Poetry Month.
Yes, sir.
You know, this is how we do it in Athens. We come from all kinds of different angles. You know, people always ask me about Athens, and I'm always like, Athens is like a buffet table. You know what I mean? It's like you're not gonna just get one thing. It's like, what do you want? Do I want some desserts? Do I want some meat? Want some veggies, fruit? Like, or I can have it all. Or maybe I don't eat meat, so I eat it. Like, it's such a buffet table. What we do here, and that's why I love it. And we're all connected, and we're all supporting each other, and it makes me feel good. It makes me know that like where I eventually landed. I'm happy with where I landed.
Yeah.
I am. I'm happy because I've been flying around for a long time, but I'm happy that I landed in Athens. So
Athens is glad that you landed here.
Absolutely. And I'm glad that I found you in Athens because you have reopened my eyes to my city.
right on.
And so I appreciate you and appreciate you for introducing this. Thank you. And once again, thank all the poets, the amazing poets, the words. Because I'm in love with words.
Yes.
I can't write noun poems, but I love words and I dissect words so when you say something to me, more times than not, I'm analyzing a few of the words that you say to me because I really be wanting to try to figure out your true meaning in what you say.
Mm-hmm.
So, because one of my superpowers is that I'm a great listener. So I analyze words, but even though, like I say, I can't write nothing, but I love them and I love the way poets paint pictures with words. The way y'all can make something that probably in our mind means something, but in your mind, in your telling, it means something totally different. The perception that y'all give with words, man, it's absolutely amazing, and I just want to thank y'all and thank y'all for giving us this gift this evening. Go ahead, too. I'm sorry.
Let's do it. No, we gotta feel that. So who we got going next? We got the young man. Okay, so there's a lot of people that talk the talk, but I will say, like, since I met this brother, like, he has his boots on the ground and he out there. Like, it ain't just, he don't just be saying what he doing. Like, if he say he gonna do something, he do it. And you know, he have his boots on the ground, volunteering. Every time I'm talking to him, he's doing something different for the community, he's doing something different for all kinds of different people, and I love what he does. So his words just brings that whole vibe out. So coming to the mic, there is one of my favorite people in the world called Malcolm X, but we got Malcolm P.
I'll take that one. This is a funny one. I feel like every time I've gone on stage, I've always been like, I don't know if this counts as like poetry or art. I feel like I'm ranting half the time, but I'll take that one. I was actually watching the past few podcasts, trying to figure out exactly like how to approach this. I feel like my last piece was a little bit too long at Hendershots, but so I may have cut sections out of the ones that I brought today.
That's fine.
All right.
Share your piece.
Did you have a set original question?
Oh, no. At the end. You come on.
Okay. So I had been thinking about that, though, and I think that leads into the first piece. I was always a big fan of, like, James Baldwin. I think some of my favorite, I always like, even comedy-wise, it was George Carlin, but also Dick Gregory. Comedy, I tried to do a comedy a few years ago. It seemed like it was like not really for me, and I kept thinking of like James Baldwin's piece of like only the artist, or like the artist struggle for integrity. And so a lot of these like slapstick like one-liners people were trying to do on the stage, and I was like, something a little bit off about this. So I was like, let me go back, let me rethink about like what I'm doing, even though it's like completely out of the field of like what I'm doing my PhD for. But this first piece kind of goes from there. I was always a big fan of also like Daniel Beatty, Duality Duel. I went to go see those in person. Joaquin Zioneto, Final Exam for My Father. Also seeing Javon Johnson building a few of those pieces in that realm. So like those type of things stuck out to me. And I guess I'll approach this from the realm of like James Baldwin of what stuck out. That whole piece of artist struggle for integrity. He constantly spoke about like this effort that we're all kind of go for integrity. It's not about like the statesmen don't know, the police don't know, the firemen don't know, priests don't know, but only the artists, and by artists, poets, only they know what it's like to be human. And so I named this first piece Only the Artist. Only the artist knows what it's like to draw breath, to draw blood, and draw truth. The first to live, the second to wound, and the third to prove that you were ever alive. To live, to ache, to name oneself in a language that the real sinners never taught you. Chords are strung that summon spirits that defy death. Like Samia in Ryan Coogler's movie. A rebellion is a declaration of existence. In a world that seeks one's silence, truth isn't spoken, it's etched. Scratched in the margins, traced in scars no one claps for. I don't think I make art, I consume it. I exhume it, and I exude it. They think that I'm creating, but I'm not. What's actually going on is I'm remembering, I'm resisting, and I'm refusing to be erased. You see, if whatever this whole thing is was only for survival, like Basie says, taken from that sample of Baldwin, said this struggle for integrity is a constant, but it's a war within the soul of what to do. To refuse the world's script and write your own, this isn't a calling, I think of it more as a compulsion. An ache that shapes my ribs like a melody trying to escape. The scars etched in melodies. I'm not looking for an applause, I'm looking for oxygen. For something that doesn't vanish when I exhale. Because figuring out what life is the only way that I feel alive.
Ooh.
Yes, sir.
Nice.
Yes, sir.
Do I just go into
Yeah.
the next one?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Alright, next one is probably kind of my writing process. I have insomnia. It's kind of how I get a lot of work done. I think my boss probably takes advantage of it, like most grad students. Typically tends to be how they get work done is the fact that we spend a lot of hours out of the day doing things. So this next one was called Insomnia. Kind of just gave the title of what the topic was on this one. The clock ticks like a metronome for thoughts I didn't invite. Sleep slips behind a door I no longer have the key for. My ceiling plays reruns of questions with no credits. Sometimes I end up in this house with all the doors closed by my thoughts that I avoid, sitting in the fetal position under the stairs in a hallway of solutions that I'd never reach. I blink and a dream glitches. Am I the actor or the script? Streetlights trace Morse code across the window, like consciousness trying to talk to itself. Reality feels like a film left on loop, like some sort of game we forgot we were playing. The extras too rehearsed, the exits too clean. I don't know if I'm waking up or zoning out. Maybe the point is that detail doesn't matter. It just feels like exhaustion finally kicks in when my consciousness is on the cusp of something I can't see, but can almost hold. It's like that.
All right.
And ideally that's me falling asleep.
That's deep.
Let's go.
And then I guess the last one that I had is more of the frustration that I usually have throughout my usual day. And so I kind of gave this one the title afterwards, but this shouldn't even be a topic. We begin this case with no jury, just consequences. No court stenographer needed, the victims recording everything. It would seem to me that the definition of progress means when the face changes, but not the actual policies. And it's wild that something can be considered a natural loss
Wing King.
when it's proven.
Coming to a town near you.
My bad.
He done threw a commercial in.
So sorry.
A live commercial.
What's funny is I was thinking it in my head. No. I'll tell you in a second. Start that over. Start that over from the beginning. Start that over from the beginning. Start that over from the beginning.
Please forgive me. It's absolutely my fault.
The title of this one is "This Shouldn't Even Be a Topic."
All right.
We begin this case with no jury, just consequences. No court stenographer needed. The victim's been recorded, everything. It would seem to me that the definition of progress means when the face changes, but not the actual policies. It's wild that something can be considered a natural loss when it's profit-driven. The last photo of a now extinct species framed as art should perhaps be seen as a warning. Perhaps wildfires shouldn't be considered breaking news, but proof of a broken system. It's wild that the planet we came out of stands victim, bleeding glaciers and burning forests as evidence. Weird that our presidency, this administration, can waste gallons, millions of gallons of water for food on a fire that's no longer burning. Yet society sits in the defendant's chair, corporate greed in a tailored suit, apathetic clutching a briefcase. And maybe, just maybe, we'll stop playing witness and step in as the prosecutor, finally ready to make our closing argument in defense of what we should have never put on trial.
So when did you start writing, and what took you to the point to make you start writing?
I don't feel like I started writing things down until like last year. I feel like I would more so have conversations with friends a lot, and it would be like over bonfires, these certain situations, and they would notice like there's a certain point where like the neuroticism builds, or like where the ADHD is kind of calmed down a little bit, and I could sit there and like observe the world. And it's at that point that I was like, hey, I should probably do this. I was talking to my advisor, and like one of my advisors, and one of the reasons that like that piece came about this month at Hendershots, because I was like, I want to do this chapter as a review, because usually for your PhD you'll do a review chapter, you'll do 3 research chapters, and I was like, well, I'm a black person in agriculture, this is my field, and I work specifically in cotton, corn, tobacco, and that. And it was like, I constantly think about like, what is the plight of the black farmer, like what has happened from us from slavery to sharecropping to now. And so I was like, could that be potentially my review chapter, but at the cost of like, oh, now the university has that rights to that if I do that. So I was like, all right, I should actually do it in another way to where it's actually mine and not someone else's.
Right.
Henceforth, that came out at Hendershots.
Right.
That concept piece was dope.
Yeah, it was. So don't ever think a piece is too long.
Okay.
Or too short.
Yeah.
It's just a piece.
Yeah.
It's just whatever you made it to be.
Yes.
It is.
Yeah.
That's all it is.
But yeah, I think on that topic, I feel like those things like stem from a point where like people joke about like consciousness pops in at like 5 for children. It's like, oh, like, or 3, 5, somewhere in that time frame. That, and it's like, I feel like there was a certain point in my late teens, early 20s, I was like a therapist and all that, and I'd had this realization because I grew up in Atlanta, but I lived somewhere else for the past like 8 years before I moved back here to Athens or back to Georgia, and it was just like you don't get better in the environment you got sick in. And I think you have to go elsewhere to like learn.
Hold on. Let that was breathe.
Hold on.
That was breathe for a minute.
We're just not gonna gloss over that. We're just not gonna skateboard over that.
So true. People don't believe
You
it, though.
don't get better in the environment that you got sick in.
Yeah.
Or other way you can find
Yes, sir.
love where you found pain.
Ooh.
Yeah, you got. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
And so I was having those moments and realizing things, and I was like, I have to go elsewhere. But throughout that time, I would still have these thoughts that just wouldn't leave. It would keep coming back. And it was like the same way that James Baldwin was talking about the art struggle for integrity. It was like you hit this fork in the road where you're like, I'm doing this, but this is what I actually care about. I'm doing this, but there's nobody doing this. Who's going to fill that space?
Right.
And it was like I was working a corporate America job to like pay for my degree and stuff like that. And I was like, I don't want to be a corporate America. Sure, I have this spot where I'm 20 years old in a company and like I became the head of a department for some reason. But I was like, I want to go be a biologist, so I'm going to go to school for this. I found a way to have them pay for like my second degree, and now my third degree is paid off for or it's going to be paid for by the university because I'm a research assistant. So it's like, all right. But it was like I am much more happier doing this than being in a cubicle or a cubifarm.
Yeah, beautiful, beautiful. You never put a price on peace.
Absolutely.
So what I said that when the commercial came on, because I was gonna say, you think we need a break? Come back.
Yeah.
And then we'll tee it up again.
Yes.
So
let's let's take a quick break.
Now he ain't ready. He want to play it when he ain't supposed to. Now when you give him the cue, set him. You actually look alley-oop, alley-oop, and damn, he missed the damn dunk.
I get caught up in the words, man. I told y'all I love words, and I got caught up.
That's why I tried to walk him through that.
Yeah.
I tried to walk him through that.
See where you going? Maybe he could grab the mouse.
You know what I'm saying?
And when we come back, we're going to take a quick break, but when we come back, we got a special guest in the building. I am so pleased and honored to have her here. And so when we come back, we're going to get it kicked back off with her.
There you go.
Thank you,
Mouse, that was
Always a pleasure.
that was hey, I am hungry.